Welcome to my channel Old Valuable Chiller. Today we are deep diving into fascinating story, the history, details, and value of the 1-cent coin 1945 from the United States, also known as the 1945 Lincoln wheat penny. This classic American coin is an important part of US coinage history and a favorite among collectors. If you are interested in coins, coin collecting, rare coins, or simply learning more about old US currency, then this video about the 1945 1-cent coin will give you valuable information. The 1945 1-cent coin from the United States is part of the Lincoln wheat cent series, which was minted from 1909 to 1958. The coin features Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, designed by Victor David Brenner. On the reverse, you will find the iconic wheat ears design, symbolizing prosperity and abundance. The words 1 cent and United States of America are written on the reverse, along with the Latin motto E pluribus unum. Collectors often call this design the wheat penny. The 1945 1-cent coin is especially interesting because it was minted during the final months of World War II, which makes it a historical piece as well as a collectible coin. When we look at the mintage of the 1945 penny, we find that it was produced at 3 different mints: Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. The Philadelphia mint produced the most coins, without a mint mark. The Denver mint coins carry a small D below the date, and the San Francisco mint coins have an S mint mark. Each variety has its own mintage numbers and potential value depending on condition. The composition of the 1945 1-cent coin is mostly copper, with 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. Unlike the 1943 steel cent, which was made of zinc-coated steel due to wartime shortages, the 1945 penny returned to the regular bronze composition. Collectors often compare the 1945 1-cent coin with the wartime steel cent, as both are important reminders of America's history during that period. Now let's talk about the value of the 1945 1-cent coin. The value depends on the condition, mint mark, and rarity of errors. Most circulated 1945 pennies are worth more than face value but less than $1. However, uncirculated examples with original mint luster can be worth several dollars or more. A 1945 1-cent coin graded in high mint state, especially with full red coloration, can sell for higher prices. Collectors also look for doubled die errors, repunched mint marks, and off-center strikes in 1945 wheat pennies. These errors can increase the value significantly, sometimes making the coin worth much more than a standard example. Another aspect that makes the 1945 1-cent coin fascinating is its historical context. The United States was just emerging from World War II, and coins like the 1945 wheat penny circulated widely across the country. Millions of Americans used these coins in daily life, buying food, paying for services, and saving change. Holding a 1945 1-cent coin today is like holding a small piece of history, connecting us with that era. For collectors, this sense of history is just as important as the monetary value. When you add a 1945 1-cent coin to your collection, you are adding a piece of Lincoln cent history. Lincoln pennies are one of the most collected coins in the United States, and the wheat cent design is beloved worldwide. Many new collectors start their journey with wheat pennies because they are affordable, widely available, and full of history. The 1945 penny is a perfect example for beginners and experienced collectors alike. Some collectors prefer to build complete date and mint mark sets of Lincoln wheat cents from 1909 to 1958. In that case, the 1945 1-cent coin is an essential part of the collection. Others specialize in error coins, and the 1945 penny has its share of interesting varieties. Whatever your collecting style, the 1945 1-cent coin from the United States offers both historical and numismatic value. It's also important to store and preserve these coins properly. The 1945 wheat penny is made of bronze, which can tone and change color over time. Collectors usually prefer coins with red or red-brown surfaces, as these are more valuable. Keeping your 1945 penny in a protective holder can help maintain its condition. Avoid cleaning the coin, since cleaning can reduce its value and damage its surface. The 1-cent coin 1945 United States also tells us about coin design. The Lincoln wheat penny was the first regular U.S. coin to feature a real person, President Abraham Lincoln. His portrait has remained on the cent for more than 100 years, making it the longest-running coin design in U.S. history. Collectors appreciate how the 1945 penny fits into that tradition. In terms of availability, millions of 1945 pennies were minted, so they are not considered rare in lower grades. However, finding uncirculated coins with full red color is much harder. This is why some 1945 pennies can sell for high prices at auctions. In recent years, collectors have paid significant amounts for top-quality examples graded by professional services. Error coins from 1945 have also sold for strong prices, making them attractive finds for coin hunters. As you can see, the 1945 1-cent coin from the United States is more than just an old penny. It represents American history, Lincoln's legacy, and the end of a world war. It's a coin that millions of Americans once carried in their pockets, and today it continues to spark interest among collectors. Whether you are a new collector or an experienced numismatist, the 1945 penny is worth learning about and adding to your collection. First up today, we are going to talk in detail about the 1-cent coin 1951s from the United States, also known as the Lincoln Wheat Penny 1951s. This coin is a very popular collectible among coin collectors, numismatists, and history lovers. The 1951s penny was minted at the San Francisco Mint and carries the small letter S mint mark below the date on the obverse side of the coin. It belongs to the famous Lincoln Wheat Cent series that was produced from 1909 to 1958. In this video, we will explore the history, design, specifications, mintage numbers, value in different conditions, errors, varieties, and tips for collectors when it comes to the 1951s Lincoln Wheat Penny. The obverse of the 1-cent coin 1951s from the United States features the portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The inscriptions on the obverse include "In God We Trust" at the top, "Liberty" on the left, the date 1951 on the right, and the mint mark S just below the date. The reverse of the coin displays 2 wheat stalks on either side, which is why this coin is often called the wheat penny. Between the wheat stalks, the inscriptions read 1 cent and United States of America. Above, we see the motto "E pluribus unum." This classic design makes the 1951s penny a timeless piece of American coinage history. In terms of specifications, the 1-cent coin 1951s has a composition of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. It has a weight of 3.11 grams and a diameter of 90 millimeters. The edge is plain. These details are important for collectors who want to verify the authenticity of their coins and distinguish them from counterfeits. The mintage of the Lincoln Wheat Penny 1951s was around 136 million coins. This may sound like a high number, but many of these coins have been lost, damaged, or circulated heavily. That means finding a 1951s penny in uncirculated or mint state condition can be more challenging and much more valuable. Now let's talk about the value of the 1-cent coin 1951s from the United States. In circulated condition, most 1951s wheat pennies are worth only a few cents, often between 3 to 10 cents depending on the grade. However, in higher grades, the value increases significantly. For example, in extremely fine condition, a 1951s penny can be worth around 50 cents to $1. In uncirculated mint state grades, the value ranges between $2 and up to $20 or more depending on the quality, color, and luster of the coin. Red uncirculated examples are especially sought after by collectors, and prices can climb higher at auctions. Another important aspect of the 1-cent coin 1951s is the presence of error coins and varieties. Collectors often search for doubled dies, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, clipped planchets, and other unusual errors. A 1951s penny with a strong repunched mint mark or double die error can be worth much more than the regular coin. Some of these error coins have sold for hundreds of dollars depending on the rarity and condition. That is why many collectors carefully examine their 1951s wheat pennies under magnification to spot these varieties. If you are collecting the Lincoln Wheat Cent series, the 1951s penny is an essential coin to include. Since the Wheat Cent series ended in 1958, these coins are now historical artifacts from mid-20th century America. Collecting them gives us a glimpse into the economic history, minting practices, and design heritage of United States coinage. For beginner collectors, the 1951s penny is a great starting point because it is affordable in most grades and widely available. You can often find them in coin shops, online marketplaces, coin shows, and even in inherited coin collections. For more advanced collectors, searching for high-grade red examples or rare errors provides an exciting challenge. It's also interesting to place the 1951 South 1-center coin in historical context. In 1951, the United States was experiencing post-World War II growth, and the penny was still widely used in daily transactions. The San Francisco Mint produced millions of coins to support the growing economy. Holding a 1951 wheat penny today is like holding a small piece of that history in your hand. When buying or selling the 1-cent coin 1951, condition is the key factor in determining value. Collectors use grading terms such as good, fine, very fine, extremely fine, about uncirculated, and mint state to describe the condition. Coins with strong details, minimal wear, and original mint luster always command higher prices. Certified examples graded by third-party services like PCGS or NGC can fetch premium values because they provide authenticity and accurate grading. Another factor that influences the value of the 1951 wheat penny is color designation. Copper coins are graded as brown, red-brown, or red, depending on how much original red color remains on the surface. Red coins are the most desirable and the most valuable. A 1951 penny in mint state red condition can sell for several times the price of the same coin in brown. Collectors also enjoy building complete sets of Lincoln wheat pennies. The 1951 is one of the coins needed to complete the San Francisco mint mark collection for the 1950s. Completing such a set requires patience and attention to detail, and each coin adds to the historical story of the collection. If you are interested in investing in coins, the 1951 wheat penny may not make you rich overnight, but it represents a steady and reliable collectible. Over time, coins in higher grades, especially with rare errors, have shown price appreciation. Many collectors and investors consider Lincoln Cents a safe and rewarding area of numismatics. Whether you are a beginner or an advanced collector, the 1-cent coin 1951 from the United States is a coin worth studying and adding to your collection. It combines historical importance, classic design, and affordability, making it a cornerstone of American coin collecting. So next time you come across a 1951 Lincoln wheat penny, take a closer look. Examine its condition, check for errors, and appreciate the craftsmanship of a coin that has been in existence for more than 70 years. Each of these coins carries a story, and each collector helps keep that story alive. Next up today we are going to talk in detail about the 1-cent coin 1952 from the United States, also known as the 1952 Lincoln wheat penny. This coin is a fascinating piece of American numismatic history, and in this video we are going to explore everything you need to know about it, from its history, mintage, metal composition, design details, errors, varieties, and its overall place in coin collecting. Whether you are a beginner coin collector, a coin enthusiast, or just someone curious about United States coins, this video will give you valuable insights into the 1952 1-cent coin. The 1952 wheat penny was minted at the Denver Mint, which is represented by the small D mint mark under the date on the obverse of the coin. This was a very active period for the Denver Mint, and in 1952 it produced over 746 million Lincoln wheat pennies. That high mintage means the 1952 penny is considered a common coin in circulated grades, but like many coins, condition and errors can make a huge difference in value. Collectors always look for coins in uncirculated or mint state condition, where the original luster and sharp details remain intact. The coin is part of the Lincoln wheat cent series, which ran from 1909 until 1958. On the obverse, you will see the portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This was the first U.S. coin to feature a real person's portrait, and it became one of the most iconic designs in American coinage. The inscriptions include the word liberty, the phrase "In God We Trust," and the date 1952 along with the Denver Mint Mark D. On the reverse of the coin, you will see the classic wheat ears design, also by Brenner, with the inscriptions 1 cent, United States of America, and the motto E pluribus unum. This reverse design gives the coin its popular name, the wheat penny. Now, let's talk about the specifications of the 1952 1-cent coin. It is made of 95% copper and 5% tin and zinc. The diameter is 90 mm and the weight is 3.11 grams. This classic copper composition was used for many years until the transition to a copper-plated zinc cent in 1982. Because the 1952 penny is copper, it has that distinctive reddish-brown look that coin collectors love, especially when the coin is preserved in red mint state condition. When it comes to values, the 1952 penny in heavily circulated grades is usually worth just a few cents, basically its copper value. However, higher grade examples are worth more. In uncirculated condition, especially coins that are bright red with no spots or discoloration, values can go from a couple of dollars up to higher amounts depending on the grade. Collectors always pay attention to coins graded mint state 65 or above, because those are the coins with the sharpest details and most eye appeal. Red examples are more desirable than red-brown or brown, which affects market value significantly. Now let's explore error coins and varieties of the 1952D wheat penny. Some examples may have doubled dies, repunched mint marks, off-center strikes, or die cracks. One of the most sought-after varieties is the 1952D repunched mint mark, where the D was struck more than once, leading to visible doubling. Error pennies like these can sell for much more than regular ones, depending on the visibility and demand among collectors. It is always recommended for collectors to check carefully with a magnifying glass or coin loop to identify such errors. Another interesting factor about the 1952D penny is its historical context. The early 1950s were a time of post-war growth in the United States, and coins like these were heavily used in everyday commerce. Imagine this 1-cent coin being used in 1952 to buy candies, newspapers, or small groceries. Holding a 1952D penny today connects us to that era of American history, making it more than just a small copper coin, but a time capsule of the past. For collectors, completing a Lincoln wheat cent collection is one of the most popular goals in numismatics. The 1952D is a necessary coin for a complete set, and while it is not considered rare, collectors still look for the best possible example to upgrade their collections. Red uncirculated coins with strong strike and no spots are always in demand. When storing or handling a 1952D wheat penny, collectors usually avoid touching the surfaces with bare hands, since oils from the skin can damage the coin. The best practice is to use cotton gloves and to store coins in protective holders. This preserves the luster and prevents spotting. In summary, the 1952D Lincoln wheat penny is a widely available coin but still holds great interest for coin enthusiasts. Its design, its place in American history, its copper composition, and its role in the wheat penny series make it a collectible piece. Even though most circulated examples are not highly valuable, the hunt for uncirculated red examples or rare error varieties makes this coin exciting to study and collect. If you enjoy learning about coins, this 1952D penny is a perfect example of how even a common coin has a story to tell. From its production at the Denver Mint, to its design by Victor David Brenner, to its place in circulation in the early 1950s, it is part of the rich history of U.S. coinage. Collectors treasure these coins because they represent not just monetary value, but also history, art, and heritage. Now we will explore and, today we are going to talk in detail about the 1953D Lincoln wheat penny from the United States, a coin that continues to capture the attention of collectors and history lovers. The 1953D penny is part of the Lincoln wheat cent series, also known as the wheat penny, which was minted from 1909 until 1958 before being replaced by the Lincoln Memorial Cent. In this video we are going to dive deep into the history, mintage, design, value, errors, and interesting facts about the 1953D 1-cent coin so that you will know everything there is to know about this collectible piece of American coinage. The 1953D penny was minted at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the small D mint mark located just below the date on the obverse of the coin. In that year, the Denver Mint produced an impressive number of these coins, over 700 million, making it one of the higher mintage years in the wheat penny series. Because of this large production, most 1953D pennies are considered common in circulated condition, but they still hold great historical and numismatic value, especially in higher grades or with unique errors. The obverse of the 1953D penny features the famous portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln has been featured on the 1-cent coin since 1909, and the design was chosen to commemorate the 100th anniversary of his birth. The words "In God We Trust" appear above his head, Liberty appears to the left, and the year 1953 along with the mint mark D appears to the right. The reverse design features two wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent and United States of America, with the motto E pluribus unum at the top. This reverse design is the reason collectors call it the wheat penny. Now let's talk about value. The value of a 1953D Lincoln wheat penny can vary widely depending on its condition. In circulated condition, most of these coins are worth just a few cents to maybe $1 because of how common they are. However, uncirculated coins, especially those graded higher by professional grading services, can command much higher prices. A brilliant red uncirculated 1953D penny graded MS65 or MS66 can sell for several dollars, sometimes even into the tens or hundreds depending on eye appeal, rarity of the grade, and demand. In extremely high grades like MS67 or above, they become much scarcer and significantly more valuable. Collectors also pay special attention to mint errors from the 1953D penny. Error coins are always popular because they are unique and often rare. Examples include off-center strikes, doubled dies, die cracks, or repunched mint marks, which are known as RPMs. A 1953 penny with a noticeable repunched mint mark can be worth much more than the average example, with values climbing into the tens or even hundreds of dollars depending on rarity and condition. One of the most fascinating things about the wheat penny series, including the 1953 is how it connects us to American history. These coins were in circulation during the 1950s, a decade of post-war growth and change in the United States. When you hold a 1953 penny in your hand, you can imagine it being used in everyday life more than 70 years ago for buying candy, newspapers, or gasoline. For collectors, that connection to history is just as important as the coin's market value. Another reason collectors focus on the 1953 penny is that the wheat cent series remains one of the most popular and accessible coin series in US history. Beginners can collect them easily because many dates are affordable, while advanced collectors enjoy searching for rare varieties, high grades, and error coins. The 1953 fits into both categories because it is a common date, yet there are still opportunities to find valuable examples, especially if you look for mint state coins or rare errors. If you are building a Lincoln wheat cent collection, the 1953 is an essential piece, and it is not too difficult to find. Coin shops, online auctions, and even coin rolls may still turn up examples. The challenge comes in finding those higher grade coins that are bright red in color, with no spots, scratches, or wear. Collectors prefer coins that still retain their original luster from the minting process, and those coins can bring strong premiums. It is also important to talk about coin grading when discussing the 1953 penny. Coins are graded on a scale from poor to mint state, with special attention to details like wear, luster, strike quality, and overall eye appeal. For the 1953 penny, a coin in good or very good condition is common and worth only face value or slightly more. In fine or very fine condition, the details of Lincoln's portrait and the wheat stalks become clearer, but value remains modest. In extremely fine or about uncirculated condition, you start to see a noticeable jump in desirability. Uncirculated coins in mint state, especially those certified by grading services like PCGS or NGC, are where the real collector value begins to show. Another key factor in the value of a 1953 penny is its color designation. Copper coins like the wheat cent are graded with color categories: brown, BN, red-brown, RB, and red, road. A 1953 penny with a bright red appearance is the most desirable and valuable, while a brown coin is typically worth less. That's why collectors carefully store their coins in protective holders to preserve that original red mint luster. Even though the 1953 penny is considered common, there are record auction prices that demonstrate just how valuable the highest grade examples can be. Coins graded MS-67 Road have sold for thousands of dollars at auction, proving that condition is everything in numismatics. This shows that while the average coin may only be worth a few cents, the right coin in the right condition can be a true treasure. Collectors should also be aware of varieties and errors to watch for. As mentioned earlier, repunched mint marks are especially notable for 1953 pennies. Always examine the mint mark under magnification to see if there are signs of doubling or multiple impressions. Other errors like die breaks or off-center strikes can make your coin unique and much more valuable than a regular example. The legacy of the Lincoln wheat cent, including the 1953 penny, is a story of American culture, artistry, and history. These coins not only represent small change used by millions of people but also symbolize an era. Collectors often enjoy completing an entire set of wheat cents from 1909 to 1958, and the 1953 is one of the easier and more affordable dates to obtain, making it a great coin for building toward a full collection. So if you are new to coin collecting, the 1953 wheat penny is an excellent starting point. It is affordable, easy to find, and gives you the chance to learn about coin grading, varieties, and the history of US coinage. If you are an experienced collector, searching for high-grade red examples or rare errors can add challenge and excitement to your collection.